Right now at 6, a family business in North Portland hit hard by a violent robbery.
He have something sharp like pocket knife or something. He hurt me here, and on my forehead.
Then, a man who admitted to dozens of burglaries finds out how long he'll spend behind bars.
Plus, a legal victory for a former Timbers goalie whose career was cut short by a surgery he says was botched.
It's been a very long 6.5 years. Today couldn't have come soon enough.
And later in sports, the Blazers' inspired playoff push runs out of steam. Orlando breaks down Rip City's dwindling postseason odds.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the $20 million a Multnomah County jury just awarded to a former Timbers goalie. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Padawanich. He sued a team doctor for medical malpractice, and this afternoon the jury ruled in his favor. Alma McCarty is in the newsroom and spoke to that former player today. Alma, this has been a 3-week-long court battle.
Christine, for Jake Gleason, it's the conclusion of 6.5 years, 14 surgeries, and life-changing, debilitating pain after implants a doctor put in got infected and he says ended his soccer career. Gleason played for the Timbers for nearly a decade when in 2018 he was diagnosed with stress fractures and told he needed metal plates attached to both shin bones. One of the club physicians, Dr. Richard Edelson, performed the surgery, but the lawsuit alleged he didn't properly sanitize the plate, did a flash sterilization instead, and didn't tell Gleason about it. While deeply grateful for the jury's decision Friday to hold the doctor accountable, Gleason told me no amount of money will bring back what he lost.
If they have a time machine, I'll happily take that over any amount of money that they offer. And I truly believe that if I could go back to that day to not go into that surgery, to have one more chance to play in front of the Timbers Army, I would take the time machine.
Gleason told me he still needs a bit of time to decompress from what's been a very emotional experience in court. Going forward, he hopes to advocate for other athletes and others who've experienced a similar situation. David, Christine.
Thank you so much for your reporting, Alma. Long road ahead.
In your headlines tonight, a 15-year-old boy is now in custody accused in a shooting that left a Roosevelt High School student gravely injured. Portland police say early Sunday morning, a group of teens was near Cathedral Park in St. John's when one of them pulled out a gun and opened fire. 16-year-old Elliot Beck was shot in the head and once in the hospital was put into a medically induced coma because of his life-threatening injuries. The 15-year-old suspect who turned himself in now faces attempted murder charges.
In Washington, a man is in jail after investigators say he put fake ICE and Homeland Security decals on a used police SUV and intimidated people at a Ukrainian grocery store. It happened March 16th in Fife, that's south of Seattle. Security cameras caught the SUV driving slowly in the parking lot. Witnesses say the driver was recording employees and customers. Someone confronted him, then he drove away. 26-year-old Ilya Kukar has been charged with criminal impersonation, which is a misdemeanor.
A Multnomah County woman convicted of starving her 9-year-old stepson will be spending most of the next 2 years behind bars. This month, a jury found that Jamie Strom starved her stepson beginning at the age of 5, feeding him with a feeding tube. At one point, he weighed less than 40 pounds. The boy was sent to a hospital in 2019 and quickly regained weight. His family members say this sentence is not enough.
How is it acceptable that it's barely under 2 years that we fought this long? Barely under 2 years is what she's getting in a sentence for almost killing a child.
The boy's family says it is now focused on pushing legislators for harsher sentences when it comes to mistreating a child.
OHSU has reached a last-minute deal with United Healthcare to keep some 74,000 of its insured patients in network. The previous deal was set to expire on Monday. Both sides have been negotiating for months. If a deal was not reached, patients with United coverage would have been subjected to out-of-network costs. The multi-year agreement also covers patients at Adventist Health, Portland, and Hillsborough Medical Center.
And some Eugene residents have been ordered out of their homes after the ground beneath them began to shift following recent heavy rains. This is in the Moon Mountain neighborhood on that city's east side. 3 newly built homes began tilting downhill, one of them buckling completely. Crews are now working to stabilize the hillside in hopes of saving the other 2. The one most badly damaged will be demolished next week. Celine?
David, we have a pretty nice weekend ahead of us. Okay, we're going to see some rain, but at least temperatures are going to be pretty mild. Like right now, we're seeing temperatures in the 50s. It's 56 degrees at the moment. Those winds, though, a little strong, 22 miles per hour. We saw the rain coming down on and off all day long, and right now it looks like we're dealing with the partially sunny skies, but you'll see on our radar again, over the last couple of hours, that rain's been moving through the area. We've seen some snow in our mountains. Overall, not too bad in terms of rainfall. We've seen around 1/4 inch here at home, just a bit over that in terms of today. Along the coast, a lot more rain there, seeing 7/10 inch in Astoria, just a little over 1/2 inch in the Newport area just for today. But as we get into tomorrow, less rainfall expected. We're looking at scattered showers throughout the day, most of that rain coming late at night, so in the early morning hours of Saturday, that rain moving through the area. By Saturday evening, we're dry through Sunday morning, but then Sunday evening, afternoon into the evening, we see more rain come through, and that's going to be the start of a pretty wet week. But just showing temperatures for tomorrow, we start off cool at 42. We're getting up to 53 by noon, with the lingering showers pretty much going away at that point, and then by 5 p.m. 57 and partially sunny. But I'll have the full weekend forecast a little bit later.
We can deal with those showers. Okay, thank you so much, Celine.
Now to the case of a prolific burglar that police say broke into more than 100 businesses and who will now spend the next 9 years in jail. It's after he struck a deal with prosecutors and today pleaded guilty.
Devin Haskins is live outside the Multnomah County Courthouse tonight. Devin, these burglaries caused thousands in damage.
Yeah, today in court, the prosecutor reading impact statements from business owners that said they not only were hurt financially, but also emotionally. So losing thousands of dollars in money, but also their sense of security. Joshua Lucero, previously indicted on dozens of charges of burglary, accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to just 23 charges of first-degree burglary and several other crimes. The judge sentenced Lucero to 9 years in jail.
You owe it to these people to engage in recovery at that point. You owe it to these people to work hard to make sure you're never victimizing somebody like this again.
The series of break-ins started in July of last year and continued through December. Over several nights, security cameras captured Lucero and others using a crowbar, bolt cutters, and sawzall to break in and steal safes, causing thousands of dollars in damage. Lucero apologized in court for what he did.
I'm ready for change in my life, and I'm sincerely sorry. Hearing those people's statements will stick with me long after this day ends.
Lucero and another suspect were arrested in late December. Police arrested a third person in February. The district attorney suspects these three are part of a larger group responsible for the break-ins.
This is one that, our office has been very aggressive on pursuing because of the kind of extensive nature of this. We're pursuing everyone involved.
He says while it's not over, it's a step in the right direction for justice.
They were very happy just with the fact that finally someone stood up for them and really sought to prosecute these cases, sought to see these individuals held accountable for what they were doing.
Lucero is currently serving a 3-year prison sentence for similar crimes out of Washington County. This 9-year sentence runs concurrently to that. Back to you.
I appreciate you following up. Thank you, Devin. Developing this evening, an employee at a family-run convenience store in Northeast Portland is recovering after he was hurt trying to stop a robber.
We just received some news surveillance video that shed some light on how this played out. We're going to take a look here Monday night at the On Mart on Northeast MLK in Fremont. You can see what appears to be the suspect here throwing stuff at one of the workers. I guess we're going to wait for this to play out here. There we go. So the suspect apparently on the right, the worker there in red on the left. It's hard to make out what's going on, but you see this confrontation and some sort of fight. The worker says the suspect had a knife and then cut him several times. I want to bring in John Adams live in Northeast Portland. John, you talked to the family that owns the business. What are they telling you about all this?
Well, David and Christine, they are still definitely shaken up from this incident that happened on Monday night, and they're hoping that man you saw there in the video that attacked their employee will soon be brought to justice. Mohammed Khan says the On Mart corner store in Northeast Portland is a family affair.
It's a small convenience store. We are trying to grow our family business and we are trying to keep it open.
But the store has faced a number of setbacks since opening in 2024 due to crime and violence. The latest incident last Monday when the family says a man walked into the store and began putting items in his coat. Employee Andy Kumar told him to stop, but the man became irate and started throwing items at Kumar.
Then I go near to him to just tell him to go outside, otherwise I'm gonna call the cops. Then he start He just catch me and he start beating me up.
The fight continued into the street. That's when police say the man slashed Kumar with some sort of weapon.
He have something sharp like pocket knife or something, which is he hurt me here and on my forehead.
The man eventually left. Kumar immediately called the police and his family.
He was like crying, scared, and he told me he was bleeding, and I called the cops right away.
Khan says incidents like this have been far too common here. At one point, they tried to keep the store open 24 hours to make ends meet, but had to cut hours back because it just wasn't safe.
People coming in with the knives, guns, they used to keep their hands in the pocket and be like, just give us everything that you have.
Some people, they came after night, especially some people, they are drunk already, and sometimes people, they are high. They don't know what they are doing, they don't know what they are saying.
Khan is hoping things like this will stop happening so the family store can stay in business.
We cannot make it for a long time. You know, we can keep up, but not for a long time.
So, John, they've cut back on hours because of safety concerns. I mean, it really sounds like they're running out of options here.
David, that is exactly right. And just to give you an idea how traumatizing this whole incident was, Kumar, the man that was attacked, actually had to sell his vehicle this week because the man who attacked him saw what vehicle he was driving, and he was worried that man would return and either vandalize the vehicle or attack him yet again. Back to you.
Yeah, just one business dealing with the harsh reality in the aftermath. John Adams in Northeast Portland. Thank you, John. Tonight, a bill that would provide panic alarms in schools across Oregon is now one step closer to becoming law.
It's called Alyssa's Law after Alyssa Alhadeff, a Florida teen who was shot and killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School back in 2018. It would provide grants to Oregon schools to buy wearable panic alarms or a phone app that would allow staff to notify each other and police in an emergency.
It could be a breathing emergency, so a student having cardiac arrest. We can get an AED to the student faster. And the faster we can get that medical attention, the more lives will be saved.
The bill passed the House unanimously. The Senate will now take it up. Washington state lawmakers have already approved their own Alyssa's Law legislation.